All right, great piece, Shakoki. I want to say this, right? A lady who was on detail for the military in Colombia, that's Central South America. She was arrested because she had her hair in a natural do. She had her hair in a natural do. And you could see on the video she was arguing back and forth with the other officer who was on detail about it. And I guess he was like some person who had the ability to reprimand her, like a manager or something like that. Or, um, listen, when you have the Supreme Court who's able to make a ruling on how you make your hair and how you style your hair, that's very intruding to all of your rights. You have the right to a nationality, you have the right to a language, you have the right to assemble. All those rights are supposed to protect the idea that you could wear your hair freely and how you want to wear it. Say if I have the right to assemble, you can't point out in the assembly and say you have to leave because your shoes are untied or your hair is in too many knots. You can't do that. And it's crazy how, all of your rights are being suspended day by day as we kind of look past of what's going on as far as the bigger sense of what's happening in the world. Especially what's going on in Israel, or I should say Palestine, with the Israeli occupancy and their forces. I'm sitting here looking at this image in my background, and it's a Jawa woman with her son tied to her back. And the son has a low cut, right? And he has the peppercorns. And she has a mini afro. It's about time we kind of sense and think, like, how do we want to live our lives out in this worldwide system that's becoming so accustomed to taking people's rights day by day. It's very unfortunate. She should not have gone through that. But you know what? Griefingly, if we sort of like really pay attention to how our rights are ultimately, going to be saved, is just by us being more responsible by speaking up. Some of us take on an ideology of allowing things to happen, that's kind of close to us, and we don't really say anything about it. But, a lot of us aren't like that. And you know what? She shouldn't have not gone through that. I feel like if you want to wear your hair the way you want to style it, you should be able to. It doesn't matter if it's too colorful. Doesn't matter if it's too too wild, too unique. You shouldn't be able to take someone's freedom of choice like that. And you know what? We have to do something about that. Because I know you're tired of saying it, I'm tired of saying it. This happened in Colombia. You know what I mean? You know, and obviously the people who kind of frisk her up were some of like the lighter Colombians. You know what I mean? Um, Here she is. She's chocolate woman. She has her hair in a ponytail. She has it combed through. Nothing outrageous or anything like that. And they still give her a problem. You know what I mean? So that's where like the other men on detail have to come in and kind of say like, hey, you need to calm down with that. Either we strike or we all leave. That's how it should be. Either we strike or we just all leave. So that's all I have to say about that. Great piece, Yakoki.